Let's go. Kirktober all year. Kirktober. Yes. We took a pause in the action, but I came back fully. I got my cousin swag on. Drinking the purple Kool-Aid right here. Let's take a sip of that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
what's next, dude?
Who do you want to start with for the NFC? We can go any division.
I feel like we should avoid our divisions to the last couple, if that's cool.
Yes. If you guys haven't figured out what teams we root for, you just got a hint.
Well, you can kind of tell with
They're
me.
in the NFC.
With my
Oh, that's
screen.
true. I forgot I was gonna put.
The South or the West?
Too.
Let's start with the South. We start with the South on the other.
Dude, that's clutch because that starts my notes on that too.
Okay.
All right. So last year, the South's biggest fucking loser ended up being the Atlanta Falcons at 4-12. They were another team. I guess it was just them and the Chargers really that were like the best at choking. The game against Dallas. I think they choked a game against the Chargers, or it was the other way around. It was amazing though.
Either way, that's hilarious.
And they somehow beat the Chiefs, somehow, but their coach, Dan Quinn, friend of the podcast, was fired, and he is now being replaced by Titans OC Arthur Smith.
He also went to the Cowboys.
Dan Quinn, yes, Dan Quinn did go to the Cowboys. Shout out. Can't wait.
Friend of the show.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, I like just friend of the show.
Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn. Dude. Mike McCarthy definitely took the fucking red pill, dude. He's also a fucking cunt, though, so, like, what do I know? Anyway, the Falcons, they're going to trade Julio. Where do you think Julio's going?
Indy? He should go to Indy. But no one's talking about Indy, so, like, maybe Tennessee, or they're also talking New England.
The next team who finished third were the Carolina Panthers at 5-11. New coach Matt Rule, first year. How would you rate it?
Hold on, I'm gonna let this car pass by. Matt Rule. Matt Rule was good. He did a good job. I think he's a good coach. He didn't win a lot, but I think that I think he has potential. I think he could be pretty good. I would say he has a better upside than a lot of the newer coaches in the league. So I think that that Carolina should be excited about the future. What about you?
His players had a lot of fight. Like throughout the year, they were in games. He's 100% a way better coach for Darnold than fucking Adam Gase on crack.
With the smelling salts.
Yeah, dude. He was definitely on crack. He had to been on some shit during that fucking press conference. I think Darnold will improve actually under Rule.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have a lot of evidence for that. Yeah, I just have like a feeling for it. I don't know if he's going to be as good as Tannehill's turnaround, but I think Darnold will at least be like a middle of the pack quarterback compared to like what he normally is, which is like bottom tier. I think Rule will bump him up a bit. The thing I'm worried about is fucking McCaffrey, dude. McCaffrey cannot stay healthy, and he really does make or break their offense.
A lot of these top running backs are having a hard time staying healthy. It's another reason why they don't want to pay him a lot of money. on top of others. They're just not using him as much, and they're not staying healthy. So it will be very interesting to see what happens with McCaffrey this year.
Yeah, because when the guy is on the fucking field, he's electric, but I don't know if it's just a stroke of bad luck. I think he's just one of those players that's super injury prone, though. The team that finished second were the Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Are you a big fan of Tampa Brady?
Bring back the
Tampa
creamsicle
Bay.
cowards.
Dude, yes.
The thing about Tampa is they've always been a fat meme. And then they got Bruce Arians, and I was like, cool, because I like him a lot. And they had
Same.
Jameis, and he's a fat meme.
Let's go. That's a W. That's E1. That's E1. That's a W.
But just getting Tom Brady made him so unlikable, and of course they had to win the fucking Super Bowl. I don't like Tampa, but I think they're going to have a very good year this year. I think that Brady has another good year in him. I don't know how many more he does. He continues to defy time, but I think he has at least this year for sure. So I don't expect them to take a step back. Not to say that they're going to win the Super Bowl. I just mean a step back in the sense that they're not going to, fall off. They're going to be competing for they're going to be competing for the number one spot, in my opinion. And we'll talk about the seeding a lot later.
Yeah, I think they're definitely probably the number one contender out of the NFC, just because they kept everyone. You know how that is unheard of.
It's the same thing that happened with
everyone.
with Kansas City last year, and Kansas City was right back in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so I think Tampa Bay will. I think they'll win the division this year because we haven't talked about the Saints yet. But I mean, with Breeze retiring, we'll get to all that. But what's really going to stop Tampa Bay, besides for maybe themselves or just one bad game in the postseason? I think Arians is also a really good coach.
Great coach.
Brady will not fuck off. He's like LeBron. They just won't fuck off.
He won't go.
Last team, New Orleans. Breeze retired. Still have Sean Payton. Did you hear about the Sean Payton movie they're going to make?
I hate
Paul
that
Blart
man
Mall
so
Cop?
much. And the fact that
They're
they're
making a movie
turning
on
his
Bountygate.
movie, turning his life into a movie, or his year off of coaching after they headhunted Brett Favre in the NFC Championship.
Yo, I'm surprised about that, though. Because
not
that
right.
movie, that's got to be a shit portrayal of him, though. That movie better critique him.
No, it's gonna idolize
give a
him
fuck if it
as like
wasn't
a
him.
peewee coach. Because didn't he coach his kid or something that year? Taught them
I
to
don't
take
fucking
off people's
know.
heads after the play was over. I don't know.
He's still trotting around New Orleans. But they have a Breeze replacement. The man who went 30 for 30. The man who loves eating W's. Famous Jameis. Or Taysom Hill. Or maybe Ian Book. Who do you think's
Who
playing
the
quarterback?
fuck is Ian Book?
He's that shitty Notre Dame quarterback, dude.
Did they just draft him, or is he like a...
Yeah, he just got drafted.
Gotcha. It's all about Jameis. I mean, Taysom Hill, he sucks. Like, come on. He's like 30
Yeah,
years old and
Taysom
isn't a
Hill
starting
sucks.
quarterback. He's not going to be starting now that he's 30, 33, whatever the fuck age he is. It's all
He
about
did
Jameis.
start last year.
He started for a couple games.
did
and
start
he was
last
good,
year.
actually, in those games. He wasn't bad. But, we
Not
all
at
going to eat a
throwing, though.
W tonight. We're going to eat a W.
I really hope Jameis has a great season and it was just he needed fucking eye surgery. I really hope it's all he needed. You know how funny that would be? He was just fucking
Just refused to
dead,
get it for
fucking
5
blind.
years.
His whole life, maybe. Maybe that explains all of his shitty fucking behavior and just attitude.
Crab
Can they
cake
eat a W?
Jameis. We gonna eat a W. Let's go.
So what are your standings out of the South?
So
Por favor.
I have Atlanta going 6-11, so a slight improvement from last
Ooh.
year, but just not really doing much yet. I think it's going to take a couple years to turn Atlanta around. We'll see if their coaching hire does well or not. We don't know yet. Carolina, I have going 8-9. Remind me again what their what their record was last year.
Last year I believe they were 6-10. Let me double check. They were 5-11.
5-11. Okay, I knew they had a number 8th pick, 6th or 8th pick.
They were 8th, yeah.
8th pick. That's right. So they improve. Like you said, I mean, I think that Rule is good. I think that they have a lot of fight in them. I think Darnold, as much as I love Teddy, I think Darnold's a little bit of a step up from Teddy if he's coached right, and he'll have a good year. And they'll go 8-9, respectable, not amazing, but a step in the right direction for Carolina. Then at number 2, I have New Orleans going 9-8, so quite a step back from last year. Like we said, Jamias, he's going to be starting for them, and they're just not going to be as good. I think that Jameis will throw some picks. I think that Taysom, if they put him in, will shit his pants and start running before he makes proper reads like he always does. I think they'll take a step back. I think they'll be humbled by Tampa Bay being in that division. 9-8. That's pretty good for a year that's like a step back year. And that's just what it's going to be for New Orleans. Tampa goes 14-3. They have a great year. I don't like it, but I think it's just, I think they were humming at the end of the year, and I think that it took them halfway through the season to really figure out who they were and what they were doing. And now that they know, they're just going to truck through the league. It's going to be terrible. I hate it. But Tampa wins the division.
All right, so I have the same standings as well. Atlanta, I have going 5-12. I really do think it's more of the same. I think they just need to rebuild, honestly. I think Matt Ryan's still a decent quarterback. They could get some trade bait out of him, maybe even like Ridley. I think they just need a reset down there. Carolina, I have going 7-10. I think they're an okay team. They definitely don't benefit from having, New Orleans and Tampa Bay in their division. I do think we're going to see improvement from Darnold under Rule. And I think we're still going to see a team under Rule that's going to play for him. I don't think they're quite there yet to becoming like a winning franchise. New Orleans, I have going 10-7. They're still a decent team on both sides of the ball. It's quarterback play that's going to really kind of make or break the year for them. I think we're going to just see the same Jameis we saw, though, in Tampa Bay. They do make the playoffs, spoiler, but barely. And I have Tampa Bay going 15-2. They're the number 1 seed in the NFC. Unfortunately, I mean, they're just good.
They're really good.
Tom Brady's their quarterback. Yeah, the defense is stacked. The offense is stacked. And they are 100% like just the worst to watch. But